On the planet Zeros, in the realm of Great Messania, therein lies the Stolen Lands, a harsh and lawless expanse filled to the brim with wandering monsters and marauding bandits. In a desperate means to get the country back to civil rest, Queen Aldori wrote invitations to dozens of adventuring parties, hoping that one of them could tame this unruly land. Our story begins with none of these heroes. This is Sorbetta, a prince from the land of Lacrine. After leaving his corrupted family, he joined the Ashen Corp as their logistics officer and quartermaster, his intense and focused mathematical mind granting him psychic abilities, allowing him to bend the laws of physics to his will. The Marquis was recommended for the Ashen Corp by Rasheen, a Majin who has served nearly every royal family in Great Messania. Though he may have been seen in the great halls of many kings over his centuries of life, he is never seen without his trusty blunderbuss, his aim only surpassed by his sense of justice and duty. It's thanks to Rasheen's extended lifespan his connections have granted the Ashen Corp privileges and positions normal adventuring parties wouldn't receive, such as the time when they recruited bounty hunter and local folk hero Diego Domingo de la Sancha, a strange but well-trained man who always seemed to fail upwards, his luck serving him just as well as his blade. Leading this band of well-gathered misfits is Matterson Doyle. To the ignorant, you may see a handsome, educated, and well-kept man, but beneath the surface lies a cunning and ambitious swindler who turned his smuggling operation into quite possibly one of the greatest cons in the history of Zeros. Today, the Ashen Corp heads to the castle of Queen Aldori, unaware that one day they will witness the crowning of a king.
You guys know nothing about what is happening in terms of the Kingmaker setting. All you know is that you are heading to the city of Restov, and you are escorting an alchemist named Edwin Foxtrot. You guys are a small band of mercenaries. You've started your company a little while ago, and you guys are going to need a name. And you guys know surface level information about yourselves, so this is a perfect opportunity for you to tell the audience who and what you're playing, and essentially how you joined your small little mercenary band. Okay? So, let's start with Matherson, because I know Takoa is the most comfortable getting the ball rolling, so.
Well, hello everyone, I am Matheson Doyle. Human, although it doesn't look like it, but that's due to my parentage of an Ifriti. I am a smuggler. I'm sorry, let's a fighter, as you know. But no, I am probably the one who actually started this mercenary crew and got the ball rolling as well. It's always good to be transporting things, people, places, and whatever else is needed. Of course, if there's coin.
Very good. The second member to join your little mercenary troop is Marquis Sorbetta. I'm probably saying that wrong. Maybe he can go ahead and correct me.
I am Marquis Sorbetta. I joined this little ragtag band of misfits for profit as a logistics expert after members of my family got the ball rolling on my application, as it were.
How the mighty hath fallen in this particular situation. The good Marquis.
Very much.
The good Marquis comes from an interesting family.
You knew all the right people, or all the wrong people. I don't know, we're figuring it out.
Oh, and I'm a psychic, yes.
Oh, and you're a psychic, yes. The third person is Diego. Why don't you go ahead, let people know who and what you're playing.
Right, I was playing Diego Domingo de la Sancha, a legendary, minor legend, small legend from
in his household, at least.
Like a legend, small L.
Small town, small town. Some of them I know him, and he has joined the mercenary band after fighting for several years as a folk hero, fighting against tyrannical bad guys and corrupt barons. Then he had to leave for unknown reasons, and he somehow got entangled with this band. But don't worry, everyone. He is the one who will uphold righteousness. And of course, in this band of miscreants, he is the handsome one.
I like that. And you are playing a human, correct?
Human. I don't know. It's like human with human ancestry. Swashbuckler.
Yeah.
He officially works as a bounty hunter. So that's kind of what he lives off of, hunting down bounties.
Then finally, we have Rasheen. I believe I am pronouncing that right, but why don't you go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong.
You're actually correct. It is Rasheen. Rasheen Lahani. He is a Martian, and he has a gun.
In Great Messania, there are two jobs that are more dangerous than anything else. And of course, that is traveling mercenaries and farmers. That is because, in this particular land, if you are not near a city, you are incredibly susceptible to being attacked by monsters. And these monsters come out, surprise, surprise, while on the road. And you guys are escorting Edwin and his little goblin companion, whose name you have not learned yet. I wonder what his name could possibly be. Right now, Edwin hasn't said much. He just says he has a bunch of supplies that are too important to be lost to the wandering monsters, and he is paying you a bit more than you expected. Like, if you want, you could start doing various checks to maybe suss out, like, what's going on.
I find it interesting. You're just like, Goblin's name who you wouldn't know, and just sitting here, Matheson as a smuggler going, oh no. We make sure we know each person's head in case I need to come up with a, bullshit story to get past any gods or anything.
Well,
but let's see here.
Edwin has not given you a name. He just says the goblin is unimportant. And whenever you talk to the goblin specifically, he goes, yeah, I'm a pet.
I'm an NPC.
That's perfect. Edwin and his pet.
His name is Pet. I'm gonna Pet.
First name Pet, last name NPC. This is Diego goes like, do not worry, Mr. Foxtrot. We shall defend you from old manner of vile beastie. That's his verbose, and then he just stands there. Walking along, swinging around his sword in a very stylish manner, because I get bonuses for being stylish. I obviously must have a stylish personality.
So you go down the road and you do wild poses as you...
Yes, exactly.
He's like, this is Puss in Boots. I will have to add a wolf character later.
So, in terms of kinds of checks on this, I assume this would be things like either thievery or society, or what do you look?
Any kind of lore check you think would be appropriate?
Then I will absolutely roll a society check to see if I can't figure out what illegal goods this man is smuggling. Also, I'll tell Pet in Goblin if that is what you prefer to be called.
Pet's fine. Thank you, though. I do appreciate it.
I believe his name is .com.
How?
No.
I have lots of legal knowledge.
You could. Oh, yes. I will let you roll legal for Pet. Actually,
Let's see.
Oh, roll legal for Pet.
Legal. 12.
That's a sentence.
You've all rolled 8, except for Marquis. Okay, let's go through this one at a time. Matherson. In the past, you've heard the name Foxtrot before, and so is Sorbetta, but it's something you've heard in passing, like maybe this is an influential family, or maybe the name is just absolutely a coincidence. Who knows? When it comes to, important people, you've heard the name Foxtrot before. One of the reasons why you even took the job, and this is how I'm treating your society role, is the fact that maybe this guy has deep pockets.
Interesting.
Yes. Now, Diego, your legal lore actually gave you something interesting, because you know that in Great Messania, indentured servitude is, in fact, completely legal, but only for, quote, non-civilized races.
Sounds racist.
It is. It straight up is. And again, they don't like the S word here. But they will use the word servant. But the fact that this goblin is calling himself Pet is quite unusual.
Don't worry, Mr. .com. I should never use the S word around you. I believe they don't like the word suave, although I was called this many times in my home country.
I like how we're not even using the word pet. We're just using .com.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's just pulling us out of nowhere. Really, he's insane.
That's a weird name you're pulling from nowhere, man.
See, the word .com is, in my native language, it means pet.
What language is this? I'm curious.
Mine.
All right, give me one last legal lore. Let me see if
It's pronounced .com. I rolled an 18 for legal lore.
You know that he is not cataloged as a servant.
He is catalogued as a suave.
Either way, you guys have been traveling down the road for a bit. Diego, the one last thing I will give you for that legal lore is .com is loaded out with really weird equipment. He's got these giant goggles on that seem to flash and make certain faces on them, like with common language. And on top of that, on his back, there's like a large device with runes on it. And typically, servants, quote, quote, will have special collars on, and he does not have a collar. And that pretty much has tipped you off that he is definitely not a servant, as it were.
Well, of course not. He's a suave, as we established earlier.
And he beeps and boops with .com stuff. Right now, nothing on .com is beeping and booping. I mean, nothing on pet. Nothing on pet.
You still have like fantasy internet where you can like, fantasy?
Fantasy internet. I got no signal. But anyways, you guys are traveling down the road, and lo and behold, I am going to need a perception check.
Perceive. Is that what it is? Perceive?
There you go.
Yeah, just the perceive button.
9.
Which you do not do.
I don't see anything. The coast is clear. Follow me.
Well, actually, here's the thing that's actually very weird. Except for Diego, who's busy posing up a storm.
That's true.
Yeah. You have noticed that it is unusually quiet for traveling down Great Messania roads. In fact, it's kind of set you on edge, because usually you would hear the scuttering, chirping of birds, or the roar of a monster, like a great monster in the distance. And thus far, nothing has occurred. Takoa and those above him, basically anything above a 20, you do notice the smell of blood in the air, and in the distance, you can see the corpse, just very, 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 very faintly. You can see the corpse of a giant centipede.
That Diego doesn't see.
Diego doesn't see it. No. It's like, think of it like over a hill.
It's unusually quiet, except for Diego posing. Ha! Ho! Ha! Ha! He's just completely absorbed in posing right now.
And I will let you guys, if you want to go ahead, I will let you use those perception checks as your initiative.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
Diego, since you are posing up a storm, I will let you use athletics. I will let you use athletics for your initiative.
Like, what is everyone going? There's nothing here. I don't see. What's everyone so concerned about?
All right, now, unfortunately, even though you got a 15 on your initiative, Diego, you do not get to act in this round because you were busy posing.
Makes sense. It's fair.
Because you did not notice these men leap out of the bushes. Blah.
Are they wizards? Leaping wizards?
That's exactly where my mind went to.
I was 100% going for that. Yeah, you're correct.
Excellent.
Leaping, well, not necessarily leaping out of the bushes, but all of you guys with a perception of greater than 20 notice men in the bushes excitedly drawing their blades. And Rasheen, you're up first.
I recommend all of you in the bushes to not even bother coming out, or you will die.
Would you like to roll an intimidate for that?
Sure. I'll talk about this one right here.
Okay. I rolled a 15 on the will save. He is not intimidated by you. That is one of your actions.
Fair enough. I shall move forward as another action.
Mm-hmm.
I shall take aim and fire.
Oh. Good shot. His AC is low enough. That is a solid hit. Roll damage. All right.
So I did 6.
You did 6. You fire your blunderbuss, which does alert Diego. He is
I
knocked
think
on...
I'm still posing.
Sorry?
I like to think I'm still posing.
Mid pose is the report of a gun.
He is knocked backwards, and you can see pellets peppering him from head to toe, but he is still standing.
That is my turn.
Marquis, you're up.
All right, so I'm just gonna look at the people in the bushes, and yeah, why not? Let's help my friend Rasheen out. And I'm just gonna hold up one hand to the one group, one hand to the other group, and use telekinetic rends.
You deal your choice of bludgeoning or slashing damage.
And we'll go with slashing.
All right. So for Bandit 1, Fort, that's a nat 1. So I think he's taking double, correct?
Correct. He takes double damage on a critical failure.
You look to the other two men and with one hand hold it out and then just pull his heart out as he as it comes to your hand and you just crush it like in your palm.
Your soul is mine.
Let's roll the other fort. What?
The other two need to do it.
I'm trying.
Oh, okay. There.
Oh, okay.
Well, they failed.
They sure did. As the one is like, oh my god, seeing you pull out the guy's heart, his eyes just shoot out of his head as he collapses onto the ground dead, and I need to move him in order to give him the X. The third man, seeing two of his friends just get their life wrecked, then vomits violently on the ground as you force a whole bunch of his organs out of his mouth.
Oh, yeah. His last words are, "I'm sorry, my 10-year-old son who will now be an orphan."
Good. And then we'll demoralize the last one on the right with my final action. Just look at him and say, what a lovely warm-up. Nope.
What a lovely warm-up as, like, the heart piece gets into your mouth and you're like, gross!
But yes, that is my turn. Just leave the AoEs there in case I need them again.
Interesting. All right, Matherson.
All right. Well, since that side is being taken care of, let's start moving this way. So, 3, 4, and then I will be targeting him with the gnome flick mace. Oh wait, actually, sorry. First thing is to ready to shield.
Oh, of course. You dash forward and prepare your flick mace. You whip it at him, like, dangerously, and he just nimbly dodges it. Diego, I will allow you one last perception check to notice that violence is happening.
This is how you're posing.
Ha ha! Oh my god!
The coast is clear, everyone. There's no sign of danger.
Diego, you notice the violence. In fact, you notice something happening to the north. You could see a crack in the soil begin to form.
Okay.
You can choose to do what you want with that.
I should go fight the bandits.
Okay. I will give you your turn now.
I assume that that's going to be another large centipede. That's what I'm assuming.
We'll
Joke's
see.
on you, it's the mole people.
Mole people. The old enemy. Let's see. Can I Dukes a Hazard over the 2 oxen?
That would be acrobatics, but absolutely.
Can I do it with panache?
Could you clarify what that means?
If I do things like swing over chandeliers and do things fancy, I get bonuses.
I think that's pretty panache. I think that's fair.
17.
You absolutely Dukes of Hazzard your way over the oxen, no problem. That's part of your movement, so you can still continue making your movement.
Let's see. Because everyone else seems to be settled up with the bandits. I called to Foxtrot and .com. Well, I assume I know his name.
Interesting assumption.
I tell them to get behind the wagon on my side, because I assume that something terrible is going to happen in like the next round or so.
Edwin's like, I don't see anything. I just take care of those bandits, and I got it. .com's like, yeah, that's his voice. I'm Edwin. I didn't give him a voice until just this minute, and now I'm committed.
Can I just try to pull him down?
With that acrobatics check, yeah, you just yeet him off the cart and pull him
I'll
to
just
the
drag
ground.
him with me.
Yeah.
I just slide over the oxen. And then, let's see. It's going to be a huge thing. So can I prepare an action? Can I do that in this game?
I believe you can. You specifically have to state what kind of condition will trigger an action.
If a centipede pops up in the ground and comes within range, I will throw a throwing dagger at it.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. What is your range on your throwing daggers?
20 feet thrown.
Okay. All right, so that is your second action. You still have a third, technically, but otherwise, like, you could just prepare, like, fight defensively or whatever.
Yeah, fight defensively.
Yeah. All right. Doing that little maneuver, the goblin pet, whose name you definitely don't know, looks at you, is like, what the hell are you doing? As he just kind of scrambles over. And the bandits begin their assault. Unfortunately, that one's dead. And then this one will leap forward at Matherson. And he will swing at you with a dagger. I believe 24 hits you?
Yes.
You take 5 piercing damage. You have shield block.
Okay.
Okay, you snap your shield into
Let's
place.
do that because that is hardness 5.
Okay, so yeah, you block all that damage, actually, with your shield. He swings again, critically missing you. I don't recall if critically missing isn't huge in this game, as it is in other games. But he swings, and he just bashes his dagger against the shield, damaging his knife a little bit. The second cutthroat readies his crossbow and fires it at Matherson. 20, I believe, hits you.
Yes, and I don't believe I can do that one again because the reaction's already used.
Okay. While you are blocking the dagger attack, you take an arrow to the hip. And then he needs to spend a turn reloading. And then he can fire again. Because that's only a single strike. Or he needs to take an action to reload. So yeah. Second attack. He fires another one, and it just kind of strikes near the same place, but fortunately you were kind of ready for that one, and you mitigate most of the damage. Let's see, 24, I believe that man is gone. That man is dead. This man vomited, so he gets to go.
Wait, didn't he vomit out his organs?
Some of them, yes. He's got more.
Doesn't he need those?
Stay in your home. Daddy needs you. He will take a pot shot at Resham. Or actually, probably Sorbet, all things considered.
Yeah, because he killed like 2 of his friends.
He did. And not only that, he made him vomit his own organs. Yeah, he's gonna...
anime style kill. It's just brutal, gruesome deaths.
Absolutely. Hand crossbow. 11. I believe 11 does miss you.
That does not hit me. My AC is 16.
Understood. He's going to take an action to reload and then fire again. Here's number 2. Yeah, you are just holding up 2 fingers as your psychic powers just stops the oncoming arrows. The last cutthroat will also begin firing. Like, Sorbetta, bro, you were just so effective, man. I'm sorry. They're really scared of you.
Why didn't you run away? Why didn't you guys just run away?
13 is still not enough to hit you. Reload. Sorbetta, you are just Neo-stopping all of these arrows. Alright?
Hand up, there's just a bunch of arrows just stopping midair.
You release the psychic energy as they all drop to the floor. It's quite intimidating. Unfortunately, you are just so covered in the heart that you can't capitalize on it.
Oh, see, it's fine. I've just been given ammo.
Oh, that's true. All right. From the north, a centipede emerges from the ground.
Whoa! No way!
Le gasp.
Le gasp! The centipede at first does not seem too good, but as it creepy crawls its way towards you guys, you realize it's actually bigger than it appears.
It was just so far away.
As it got closer. Like, oh, there it is. All right, up, and we're here. Diego?
I throw my dagger!
Yes, you do throw your dagger. Yes.
And I use panache. Attack.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And then, where is it? Flying Blade. You learn to apply your flashy techniques to throwing weapons. As easy as melee weapons, when you have panache, you apply precise strike damage on range strikes. You deal 2 additional precision damage. If strike is part of a finisher, the additional damage is 2d6 precision damage instead. So I did 4 damage then.
You did 4, which is, like, believe it or not, considerable to these creatures. You strike it right in the eye, and it shrieks like, and it stops it dead in its tracks. I'm going to go ahead and roll its initiative and add it to the turn order.
Come get me, you vile fiend. Come taste the steel of Diego Domingo de la Sancha.
It just gives a roar. Even though centipedes technically
scratches his head like, huh?
It's got your blade in its eye.
I'm going to need it back, please.
Rasheen, it is your turn, and I believe you are out of ammo, like, in your gun.
That is correct. I will need to reload my weapon, but I am not doing that just yet. I am going to first move right here. Underneath the dead body, apparently. And then I'm going to use, as my second action, clear a path, which allows me to do a athletics shove and reload at the same time.
Oh.
Yes. So, athletics. That is a terrible roll.
And that is versus my reflex plus 10, correct?
I believe so.
Regrettably, that is not enough. You just kind of bash him in the stomach as he just takes it and then slowly pulls out a dagger ready to stab you.
Oh, what a shame. I guess I just need to go boom.
Somehow. Somehow. You missed.
You missed with a cannon.
How did I miss both of them with the cannon? That's scatter.
You fire, and they just kind of reflexively put their arms up, and it just slaps into their armor.
Fair enough. That's what's it.
All right. Next person up is, I believe, another cutthroat. It is the one that's been firing his crossbow. He recently fired, so he needs an action to reload. He will then fire again at Matherson. Okay.
Yeah. Top round has already occurred, correct?
Correct.
So I'll just use my reaction to negate that damage.
Okay. This guy has like a dead eye, man. He's actually really good. Unfortunately, that is his last time he can fire his crossbow, so instead he'll go into melee range right here. Sorbetta, you're up.
Alright. We're gonna help Matherson because he does not have a shotgun and is surrounded, and Rasheen has a shotgun and is surrounded.
I think that's fair. You turn and look towards these cutthroats who are attacking your leader.
And I am going to attack the lower one. Just pick up one of the arrows around me and fling it at him with telekinetic projectile. Which I don't think hits.
Regrettably not. With those arrows in the air, you just kind of turn it and then yeet it. And this cutthroat, who is a badass, by the way, apparently, just snatches it right out of the air.
Well, since I'm right next to the wagon and there's a centipede on the other side, my last action will be to take cover against the wagon. Seeing as how the giant centipede has appeared next to the wagon, Pet
will also choose to take cover next to you. Ah! But before he does, he grabs an object out of the back and leaps down with you. Since he is small, he can occupy Sorbetta's space.
Can I try to observe the object that he took?
Yes, you may. That'll be a perception.
Let's see. Will taking my actions up?
I don't believe it will.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, AAA will correct me.
Oh, 24.
Oh! It is an ornate and beautiful object that you did not initially notice on your hiring. Like, you guys kind of, like, eyeballed the wagon, but you never saw this. He just kind of, like, snatched it out of a compartment you didn't see.
Diego goes, "Is it a very fancy and beautiful object that I did not notice upon hiring that you have?"
Thanks, it's from my mother!
Your mother, she had good taste.
Thank you! The other cutthroat, remind me, does flanking exist in this game?
-2 penalty to the person who's being flanked to their AC. Only to melee attacks, however, of course.
-2. Okay, understood. Not a problem. So
Takes me from 20 to 18. Don't worry, they've hit every attack so far.
So he did take one action to shift. So his second action naturally is really low. And then with his final action, he'll try one more time with a dagger, which naturally, of course, does not work. But Matherson is being put through the combat ringer right now. Fortunately, he's a fighter and he's quite capable. So
That's what I'd like to think.
you're putting up a good fight, man. It is Matherson's turn.
So we will, I guess, attack the one that is in front of him at this point that has been causing the most amount of issues, because if we can try to stop that problem before it gets any worse. I don't believe I need to use another action to ready the shield. It's already ready, is that correct?
Every turn you need to re-ready it.
Alright, then we will re-ready it and do 2 attacks then. No
Excellent.
flick mace. And second gnome flick mace.
With a whoosh, you bash this guy right across the face for 6 damage, tearing the markings that they have on their cheek. It's just gone. He is still quite alive and pissed off, but damn it, that sent the message.
Should they know they're up against like an anime villain? Shouldn't they just run away?
Let's see. The third cutthroat, this fella. He will also shift into flanking position. Swing his dagger. Which doesn't matter, because Rasheen is awesome, and he blocks it with like a back kick. He swings one more time, and Rasheen is just casually dodging.
Dear sir, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to hit me if you want to kill me.
I'm trying!
Yeah, the picture looks like he's going to shoot him because his rifle's over his shoulder. Up and down.
I like that. Diego, you're up.
Okay, I don't really want to get into meaty with this thing yet. So I'll try my throwing dagger with panache.
With panache.
With panache.
Okay, 11 regrettably does not hit. You yeet the second dagger, and unfortunately, your aim was so good that it hits the dagger that's already embedded into his eye, and doing no damage.
It's stuck in the handle of the first one.
It's double daggered.
Curses! Again, my wonderful, incredible accuracy comes to bite me in the butt.
It does not work.
I think I have 2 more actions, though, don't I?
You absolutely do.
I'll put away my throwing daggers or whatever, and draw my rapier. And so I can use that last action to, I guess, fight defensively or something like that, in order to protect Mr. Foxtrot here.
Okay, so you'll get between him and the monster.
Yeah, but if anyone comes near us, within range.
Got it. Okay. That sounds good to me. The giant centipede goes. It sees you draw a weapon and ready it. So instead, it just takes a big old chunk out of one of the oxen. And it...
Not the oxen.
Not the oxen! The oxen begins to panic and will run away.
Oh no.
removing your cover.
Just Sorbetta and Pets kneeling there.
Uh-oh!
This is awkward.
That's not coming. That's not coming of our deposit, does it?
It will then come forward and attack Diego. But it takes -5. 15 does not hit you.
Does not hit. I have 17 AC.
Especially since you're fighting defensively.
Absolutely.
Last bandit goes.
Also, I have something called Nimble Dodge. What does that do? Do I have to activate that?
Nimble.
Definitely dodge out of the way, getting +2 circumstance bonus to AC against the triggering attack, as long as I can see it.
That is a reaction, so you can use that. However,
I don't need to this time around.
You really don't, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, you're not supposed to be seeing my rolls. Are you seeing them?
I
Yes.
think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Technically, you're not supposed to be seeing my rolls, but, like, yeah. I never hide them. I think it's more...
Put those away.
I personally think it's... I personally think it's more fun if everybody sees the roll.
See your rolls.
We can all go, oh no, when we see the 20.
Speaking
You mean
of
like that?
Like that, exactly.
Jinx.
Yeah, like that.
Like this.
Like that. Rasheen, since you have been dodging, you've leaned your head back to, like, view this guy behind you. The other guy just stabs you right in the stomach. It's painful, it hurts, and you take 8 piercing.
Ow.
You did learn, however, it does not appear that they have sneak attack damage. Thank God.
Greed.
Second attack, 12.
No.
No good. And he will then twist the knife and just pull it out gently.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Just a gentle pull.
Oh, excuse me. Again, you're a Majin, so, like, I imagine he tears out quite a bit of it, but, like, you're a Majin.
Just bubble gums. Just pop back in place.
Exactly. Fortunately, it is the top of the turn order, and it is Rashin's turn to get revenge.
You see, sir, that is not how you stab someone. You stab someone like this.
Fire.
Damn it.
Fire's gone.
Damn it!
I cannot hit today.
No, you can't. Oh my god.
Ah, screw it. I'm going to do clear a path again on the guy behind me, attempting a shove action and reloading at the exact same time.
Okay.
There we go.
No, yeah. You knocked him flat on his ass.
And why not? I'm just going to attempt to stab the other one, even though I doubt it will hit. Yeah, no.
You stab and then, like, reach backwards with the butt of the gun, and you catch the first guy completely off guard, hitting him right in the stomach, and he falls on his butt behind you. You then attempt to stab again, but this guy is kind of ready for you. So.
Understood.
Matherson, once again, you are just getting DP'd here.
But it doesn't matter.
Does not matter. Second swing, third... No. You have blocked him so many times with your shield, he's getting tired, and you just bitch slap the dagger out of his hand. He's like, oh shit.
This is when he just looks back and just goes, stop.
Sorbet, it's your turn.
Sorbet,
well-
could you take the heart out of this thing real quick?
Well, I'm gonna try something, because it's a centipede there, and lots of people still alive, so let's unleash my psyche. Just go into super mode. And then we are going to telekinetic projectile one of the arrows onto the centipede that is there, because that is too close for my comfort.
He does not like getting his hands dirty. Oh!
It's an extra +2 because I'm in Unleash Psyche.
Okay, you take one of the arrows, and when Diego asks you to take the heart out, you sure do. You fling it, and it goes straight through, and it pulls out an organ you're fairly confident is a heart.
It was something important.
Too bad it is a centipede and has like 14 hearts.
It's fine.
Like
That was the
merman.
most important one. I'm no longer in immediate danger, so that actually changes what I wanted to do a little bit.
Yeah, that crit was a game changer.
Yeah. You know what? We'll just move over here. Hi, friend.
You stand over the bandit who got knocked on his ass.
Just tail flick.
Okay, 21 to hit Matherson.
That will hit, especially with flat-footed, so...
Okay. You take 4 piercing to the spine. He then twists the dagger and gently pulls it out. As I think these are just the gentle knife bandits.
Well, these, they're not that rich, so maybe their knives come from like their fathers or something like that. Like this is a family heirloom. Be careful when I pull it out.
He'll stab for a 3rd time. This time he's like, "Oh, this is how I do it."
And that still misses.
That still misses?
Yes, because
you're
I
flat-footed.
was at 18, and then with a shield, readying the shield puts it up to 20. But
Gotcha.
I'm flat-footed for -2 AC to be back at 18.
Okay. Learning from the first attack, you then parry it with your shield. He's like, "Damn it, I thought I had another one." It is now your turn.
Well, let's finish off the first, because this is getting rather annoying. Ready shield, obviously, then Gnome Flick Mace to the other one I had already hit.
With a whoosh, you whip it out.
You can see the Matheson's quite good at that.
Yeah. And the whip wraps around his neck. You give a quick tug as it severs his head from his shoulders.
Just turning and going, and now you.
With a fluid motion, you turn and slap him right on the arm with it. It stings, but it doesn't seem to do any damage.
Mm.
The one on his back looks at Marquis standing above him, and I'm going to give you a free intimidate.
Nope.
Afraid not. He stands up slowly. Parley?
Drop your weapons and sit back down, and maybe.
It's part of the bandit's code. You must adhere to parley.
I just love the idea if you go, no, I'm allergic, and just stab him.
He goes, "Oh, I'll drop my knife, all right." Ha! He stabs you right in that blue piece under your chest for 4 damage. Actually, yep, 4 damage. He then twists the knife gently, of course, and pulls it out.
There are other things you can do with daggers other than, like, just shove it into things. You can slash with them, too.
Whoa!
You tried stabbing someone, but like really hard. Whoa!
It's not just a stick,
Diego, you're up.
Okay, now that the centipede has been brutally executed. Let's rape you out. 5, 10, 15, 20. And then I guess I'll just poke him in the back. I'll
Sure.
poke him in the butt.
Poke him in the butt.
Haha! I still have panache. I guess I'll finish on his ass and then so
As an out of context tweet. I guess I'll finish on his ass.
you can make an incredibly graceful attack, piercing your foe's defense's butt, making a strike with weapon to apply your precise strike damage. So this would mean I had used 2d6 instead of the passive 2.
Yeah, you would add 2d6 to it.
8.
All right. You dash forward with your blade behind you, all anime style, and then you do a jump, flip, spin, and stab him clear in the back. And taking a note from Marquis, you have his heart on the end of your blade.
On the heart is carved D for Diego.
Yeah. All right, that bandit falls.
Sorry, I'm hard of hearing.
That's good. I'm mad that that's good. Centipede is very, very dead. With a dagger swing, Rasheen, this guy took your advice on how to kill you properly, and he stabbed you again for another 5 piercing.
Man, this guy really is definitely hitting me now. I'm down.
Yeah, no, he learned. He learned today. Realizing that you are very weakened, he then tackles you to the ground and stabs you in the chest again, pulling the knife down. You're at -1.
All right.
With his third strike, he is going to double tap, stabs you in the chest again for like the third time, but you know, you're Imogen, so it didn't actually hurt. So, thinking that he got you, he stands up with the knife and begins walking towards Marquis. Now, you are unconscious.
So in Pathfinder, it basically just stops at 0.
Oh, okay.
2E.
Got it. I'll put you at 0 then. My bad.
I gotcha.
Alright, cool. So he's at dying 1. Oh my god. You must attempt a recovery check at the start of each turn to determine whether you get better or worse. So 10 plus your dying value.
Which in your case is 1, so 11.
Yep.
8. Oof.
Okay. So failure, your dying value increases by 1. So you're at dying 2 now.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Alright. This is very valuable information, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important, need to know information.
I'm actually glad you're dying.
You are
That's your new
performing a
intro?
great service with your life.
But that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yep.
Marquis, you are looking at the cutthroat in front of you. You just watched Rasheen go down, but you are still holding a whole bunch of arrows if you want.
Yep. I'm just gonna look at him, look down at the hole in my chest, look back up, and just flick a finger to send an arrow at this man's head.
Okay.
No.
He just moves his neck to the side as it flies, and it would be really funny if it hit the other guy. But it did not.
And then for my last action, I will use Calculate Threats.
Okay.
Gives me a +2 bonus to AC. I can only do it while my psyche is unleashed. Basically, I look around the battlefield and figure out all the different angles of attack he might do to me, and just anticipate them.
I will tell you that you're pretty confident he likes to stab.
No, I would never have guessed.
Yeah. Matherson, it is your turn. All of the
All right.
bandits who are currently in your melee range are dead.
Yes, and so I can use 2 of my actions to just double my speed, I assume?
Correct.
All right, so let's move 50. Because, 25 move speed. And let's go for the one who's right here and kind of go, hey! No.
You flick out with your mace and you wrap it around his wrist. As he's about to triple tap Rasheen, you just stop it.
All right.
The one cutthroat, seeing as how you're bleeding, he will attempt to stab once again with a dagger.
No.
No. He's like, hold on.
I just dodge slightly.
Swing 2 and 3. You just kind of do a couple quick like shimmy and shakes and dodge all of his attacks.
Just gonna look at him with one raised eyebrow.
Diego, you can see that Rasheen has gone down and the other cutthroat is attacking Marquis.
Okay, 2 actions to move. Can I swing my blade so hard that the heart on my blade hits the bandit in the face?
Yes, I will absolutely let you do that. I'll treat it as a dagger. That's fine.
With a throwing dagger?
Yeah, I like that.
A dagger with bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Let's see. 13 finesse.
It slaps him in the face, but he seems only mildly disturbed. These guys are violent. I can't believe. Why would they do such a thing? What have I done recently?
Recently.
I mean
Specifically. All right. This bandit pulls out a hand crossbow, since his dagger hand is, of course, trapped in a whip. He fires it at Matherson, and you just pull up your shield. He will then come forward with whip in wrist and attempt to stab you.
And that will hit.
That done did it, unless you react.
Which I can to reduce that to 0.
That's right. Okay. Rasheen, top of the turn order. Need a dying check.
Yay!
You are at dying 1. That's better than dying 2.
Agreed.
Marquis, it is your turn.
Unleash Psyche turns off. I now have Stupefied 1, which means that I now have to roll above a 6 on a flat d20 whenever I cast a spell, or it just auto fails. And we will telekinetic projectile the guy in front of me again. Whether the spell fizzles out or not, it's not hitting him. And then I will, just because I have an action, he's in front of me and I'm annoyed, just stab him with my shoulder horns. Or not. Never mind. Okay. Whose turn is it next?
You lunge forward with one of the arrows. Like, you've got such a headache, you had to grab one of the arrows in the air and attempt to stab. And he just parries both of that shit. Matherson, I believe it is your turn.
Yep, we'll ready the shield now that I'm actually in range, and of course, keep going with it, gnome flick mace. Let's see if we can finish this one off.
Yep. With the whip mace on this guy's wrist, you then shift your hip and shoulder and throw him over your body onto the ground, knocking him completely out.
And then we'll try to do a spin to continue that momentum, and because of reach, I should be able to hit the other, but it will fail terribly.
You accidentally yeet the end of your whip, but it didn't go anywhere. It just landed on the ground in front of you because it's still attached to this guy's wrist.
Yeah, I tried doing that, it just rips the arm off. It's just flying off in the distance. You're like, ooh. Oh, not my problem.
This guy, who apparently is the true badass of the fight...
Holding his buddy's heart in one hand, a dagger in the other, with a hope and prayer in his heart.
Lo and behold, it worked! He stabs you in the chest for 6 damage, and then shoves the heart on your shoulder.
See, this is why I stopped 5 feet away from the guy.
He will then use his second action to grapple you. That's just how I'm animating it. He will then shove you aside and like attempt to get you into a compromising position, and with his third attack, lose his dagger.
How embarrassing.
How embarrassing. Diego, you're up.
Let's see. Okay, so can I just go here? Does that trigger anything?
It does not. It just uses one of your movements. Or one of your actions, excuse me. You can actually go right here, if you want.
Get that sweet, sweet flanking.
That,
flanking.
the conga line of death.
And then I shall attack him from behind. 17.
That does work. You stab him in the calf, and then just like upwards, and you pull out a piece of tendon, and he like buckles a little bit. You still have a second attack.
Okay, sounds good to me. 6.
Unfortunately, that does not do it, but you do flourish and clean off your blade.
Sounds good.
See, this guy is KO'd. Rasheen, top of the turn order, bud. Need an 11 on a d20. Fantastic.
Hey.
You're at dying 0, so you're just unconscious. You can't get up, correct?
No, I don't. I think he's still unconscious.
I'm still unconscious. I'm just not dying, if I recall.
But you're not. You naturally return after and awaken after sufficient time. All right, cool. You're good. Your Majin healing, fortunately, is starting to close all your wounds again, so you are at stable condition.
Hooray.
Sorbet, your turn.
Well, he said he wanted his dagger back. And let me just do a flat d20. Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, no, this was destined to happen.
Mm-hmm. Can I get my dagger back? Ow, my leg! What? He dies with no dignity.
And Sorbet's just going to look around. Does anyone know basic medicine?
Now that combat is ending, Foxtrot was like, I do, hold on, as he scrambles into his pouches and pulls out a potion and starts scrambling his way over to Rasheen. Rasheen, a healing liquid is poured down your, well, you recover 7.
We're down, whatever it is.
Thank you, Alchemist.
Diego mentions that, hey, is your valuable ornament that was once your mother's that we had not known before being hired, is it still safe? He says this out loud.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna try to chase after that oxen. Bye! Be right back!
If you don't catch the Ox King's gonna be really mad.
I don't understand that reference!
As I get back up, Mr. Foxtrot, were you injured at all?
No, I'm good, thank you. You guys were really worth the money. Whew.
Remember, Mr. Foxtrot, once we get to the city, make sure to give Domingo de la Sancha 5 stars on the review. That's de la Sancha, three words. De la Sancha. Okay? 5 stars.
Ooh, do a persuasion, actually, or diplomacy. God, what is this game? Because you just saved his life, the DC is like 8.
But I do love this because Matheson will probably look to him.
I grow 7.
Matheson will look to him and go, Diego, for a portion of your cut, I will definitely help you in this endeavor. Spreading the great name.
No, thank you.
No?
I politely refuse. Respectfully refuse. I rolled a 7 though. Like one less.
He looks at you as like, all right, so I'm not gonna do that. Actually, he sounds like this. Okay, I'm not gonna do that, but I can get you another job, one that pays way more money.
Matheson's immediately like, ooh, do tell.
We're getting paid?
Sorbetta, while this is going on, is just gonna precipitize the blood off everybody.
Matheson will probably take him and start walking in the direction of the cart as they're talking and go, always, as always, valuables, go through the pockets, etc., etc. Leave nothing behind. Leave this place cleaner and more ready for the animals to pick.
What about the guy who's knocked out?
He is.
Oh, one moment.
Yeah, he is just unconscious. Yeah.
Did you just take him with us?
I see. Wait. Any of you recognize him? Long lost family? Anything like that? He looks around and goes. Looks at the boo. Looks at the freezer race. Goes.
Can I see her recognize him and like roll legal lore or something like that to see if he has a bounty on his head?
You can actually. Yeah, I'll let you do that. Absolutely.
I rolled a 18 apparently.
I actually need a second. Yeah, these are called Black Tier Bandits, and they are a mercenary gang commonly employed pretty much everywhere, but the fact that they're jumping you on the road, a little sus. Normally they are an urban type of threat. Highwayman banditry is not really their usual shtick.
I'll just repeat that to everyone else.
Oh, perfect. Take the heads. We'll need the cheek at least, it looks like, for
I usually just Diego's like, I usually just collect the thumbs.
Yes, but you see, it's the cheek that has the mark.
Although there is that one you removed the cheek from.
Yeah, that one's gone.
So sad for that one.
This
The head,
one
anyways.
might be
We'll
worth,
just say he was one of the group, inductee.
You guys are all
might be
very
worth
barbaric.
more. This one might be worth more alive. Information as to why they've changed tactics might be valuable to the authorities.
Well, if you want to keep him, then you'll have to take care of him. Because in all honesty, I don't think there's enough room on the car.
Yeah, we already have one pet with a consistent voice.
The consistent
Clearly.
voice.
If you would like to go and handle the niceties of such a task, then handle it quickly, because we only have so many supplies, yes?
Well, I mean, one of the ox probably needs healed. I'll go handle that. Once Pet comes back with the with
Pet.
Dot Pet.
Dot pet.
I'm sure we can move some things around in the wagon. It doesn't have to be comfortable on the way to civilization, after all.
I believe, like, to hog tie him, it's not going to require much. Eventually, Pet comes back with the wagon, and inside is some rope you can tie him up with.
Excellent. If not, I believe I bought some anyway. Just that's the occasion, Larry.
Between the lot of you, you manage to be able to haul this guy into the cart, and you remove the cheeks from all the bandits. They are now the cheekless bandits. All their gear is kind of ruined and, like, unsalvageable, but they each were carrying a hand crossbow, which is worth a little bit of money.
Can I roll nature to see if there's anything worth salvaging off these giant centipede?
Yes! That will be you can do nature or survival, or, if you got it, cooking lore.
Nature it is. 16.
You harvest one special ingredient.
Okay.
The way monsters work is based on their CR. You can harvest special ingredients for cooking. Cooking in Pathfinder 2 is very, very powerful. So yeah, it's definitely
Arrow survival then?
You can, yeah.
Let's see.
Technically, you shouldn't be able to, but since this is kind of the tutorial, I'll let you do it.
20.
You also harvest a single special ingredient,
Fantastic.
and you get your daggers back.
And my dagger's back.
And your daggers back. Very important. All right. Now that everything has been gathered and the situation has pretty much calmed down, you eventually head back on the road without much hassle. If you want, you can question Foxtrot about stuff, but otherwise, I'm just gonna zippity-doo-dah right past this.
Oh, yes, actually, one of the most important questions. Details on that other job you had mentioned.
Oh, yes. See, I actually, I have some employers in, let's call them high places, and I'll put in a good word for you. We're actually we're heading to see an Aldori sword lord, actually. And with that, yeah, you could do lore on that one.
23.
All right.
Would society be applicable in this instance?
Society would absolutely be applicable.
25.
Aldori sword lords are in fact a big deal. They are basically the kings of specific regions. So the way we're working, you are not in Bavoy as it is in Pathfinder. You are in Great Messania, and the way Great Messania works, it is separated into several kingdoms, and that kingdom is typically ruled by a sword lord. So you are basically meeting a queen. And because you know you are heading to Restov, you are heading into the home of Lady Jamandi Aldori, but since, she is a queen, she is Queen Aldori. You guys travel along the road, and the one thing that did kind of excite you, Marquis, is that when Foxtrot mentioned that he had friends in high places, you're suspicious at this point that he might be talking about this kingdom's angel. Every single city has a giant crystal, and that crystal is managed by an angel. Those crystals are what keep monsters away. As you travel down the road, you bypass the giant centipede that seemingly these bandits have killed in order to set up this trap for you.
We'll be very curious once this guy wakes up to find out whether it was set specifically for us or not.
It will take another couple hours for you to travel, and you guys chit-chat, and, essentially you're kind of pulling this information out of him as you're traveling. You guys are climbing up a hill, and at the top of the hill, you see an impressive castle. The cobblestone path is bordered with regal oak trees as well as well-manicured hedges. You completely bypassed and skirted around the town and its great crystal, heading up the road. You make your way past some guard barracks, a stables, a dozen thatch roof cottages or so, and finally make it to a great sprawling manor. This manor is 3 stories tall and is made of light gray mortared stone, surrounded by a hedge of roses and various other oak trees. As you reach the castle gate, your bandit captive has just kind of stirred here and there, but he is not yet conscious. You can choose to drop him off at the barracks for safekeeping, or you can choose to keep him in your cart. Neither Pet nor Edwin particularly care what you do.
I think it might be best to drop him off at the barracks.
Yes. So long as they allow us to talk to him later.
Yep.
Can we turn him in with our bounty? Is that what it is?
Yes, you absolutely can. You do drop him off along with giving your statements. You explain what happened, and you turn in the cheeks of all these bandits. The cheeks on their face, I should specify. As you turn in the other cheeks, they look at you, and they accept your story, and then when Foxtrot verifies your story, they don't even question it. They give you 5 gold pieces per bandit. So the party collectively has earned 30 gold pieces for defeating those bandits.